Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Upkick MMA episode 477. I am Brennan. UFC Fight Night, Kansas City, Missouri. Gary versus Practice, but this is going to be the prelims, all right? So this is going to be Matt Schnell versus Jimmy Flick. The rest of the prelims are going to break all those down, go through them round by round. If you like this kind of thing, subscribe to the channel. That way you know the next video is coming out. I'd really appreciate it. All right, all that out of the way. Let's get into the fights. All right, if you're looking for the main card that's in the last video, also there's timestamps down below to if you want to skip over to any of the fights. Okay, Matt Schnell versus Jimmy Flick. I thought this one was going to be a blast. This whole night had, there were some interesting fights. I would not, if I was a casual fan, I would not go through and watch these. I just wouldn't. Schnell eating a leg kick and coming back with a 1-2-3. Flick using that single to get him against the fence and then kicking the leg out. Beautiful takedown. This fight was very fun. Not much damage on the feet, so all that control time for Flick takes this round for me. Looking at the striking numbers, 8-6 in favor of Flick. Had that control time, 3 minutes and 41 seconds. Clearly his round. Second round, Flick right in on the takedown. Schnell jumps guillotine. That was probably a mistake because he ends up on bottom, but Schnell finally able to get on top with 2 minutes left, fighting off the guillotine himself. Then Schnell stands up, works to the back. Flick gets out, goes right onto the guillotine, and then sits back down. Now he ends up on bottom again. Schnell doing a really good job staying on top, doing the ground and pound. Taking a couple up kicks, but for the most part, Schnell did way more damage in this round. 18-3 for striking numbers. Clearly his round, 19-19 going into the third round. Flick gets a takedown, not able to control him as easily as he did earlier in the fight. Schnell back up. Damn, this is really fun to watch. The grappling was fun. This was a blast. I know I said I wouldn't go out of my way to watch this, and I stand by that, but boy, this was fun for me. Schnell using the guillotine to roll on top again, getting to the back. Great fun fight with a lot of wrestling and jiu-jitsu. Schnell takes it on my card, 29-28. Looking at the official scorecards, all three judges saw it the same way. Derek Clearly, Eric Colon, and David Hayeti. Both saw it the same way. Second two rounds to Schnell. All right. Moving on. Evan Elder taking on Gage Young. This is one of those ones where you just saw a guy, oh man, in Evan Elder with just more experience. It really looked like, it looked like, because people say that all the time, like, he's got 5-round fight experience. Oh, he's got championship experience. Oh, he's got playoff experience, from even other sports. And sometimes that does play a factor, but it's hard to point to an individual moment all the time. It's more just like an aura they give off. But in this fight, you could point to multiple times. You're like, okay, this is an Evan Elder has more experience thing. And Elder catching a kick, countering it with a nice 1-2. Elder doing a good job with his positioning, not giving anything easy to Young. He gets thrown off, which was kind of surprising after that, the control time. But anyway, both guys are finding the mark with the jabs and the low kicks. Elder's able to land that right hand. Young pokes him in the eye right after. He was warned. He was right after he was warned, he pokes him in the eye, but no point, even though he was just warned about it. Makes no sense. What are you warning him for if you're not going to punish him? It's not a warning anymore. It's just a gentle suggestion. Elder starting to really pull away with the volume, landing after that eye poke and digging low kicks, spinning him around twice with those low kicks. Just woof, beautiful stuff. Elder just way out in front after that first half of the round, 10-9. So I had it 35-21 for striking numbers in favor of Elder. That's why I have it 10-9. Second round, Young using more volume this round to start, getting more out there. Even if they don't land, it stops Elder from throwing back. But Young just can't keep that offense up. Young gets backed up. He's not able to land enough along the fence. And then Elder doing much more damage this round, outstriking him 40-24, clearly his round. And then this last round was more of the same. One of the things that I want to touch on is the experience, right? So Elder ends up winning this 30-27. This last round was the closest, 40-36 for striking numbers in favor of Elder. But overall, Elder just looked more comfortable and cleaner on the feet. Like he is willing to actually use his techniques more often than Young does, right? So Young, more often than not, doesn't look bad, but he just looks more hesitant. And it's costing him his timing. So if you hesitate just for a fraction of a second, that could be the difference between landing on the chin and hitting air. And that's what you were seeing. He was hesitating on his offense. He didn't believe in the things that he was throwing out there every single time. Now, it doesn't mean he didn't land, or it didn't mean that it's just in those moments where he hesitated, Elder was able to get out in front. Ends up winning 30-27. Great job, Evan Elder. Chris Gutierrez versus John Castaneda. I disagreed with this one, but let's talk about it. So Gutierrez with the pressure and the kicks right away, which is more unusual. The pressure was unusual for Gutierrez. Usually he likes to back up, play it slow, counter, and still with the kicks, but usually he starts very slow. This one, he started a little bit quicker. Gutierrez slips on a kick and ends up on bottom, which sucked, right? Castaneda does nothing with it, and then near the end of the round, Gutierrez drops him with a right hand, and he's got 30 seconds left to work, doesn't gas himself out, lands a couple shots, but it is a really good thing that he dropped him at the end of the round because he was going to lose this round if he didn't do that. So 10-9 to Gutierrez. Second round, Castaneda landing a really nice right hand. Gutierrez right back at him with the kicks and landing a hard right hand of his own. Gutierrez knocks him down with a low kick, and then a follow-up makes Castaneda light on the lead leg. Very close round with neither guy having a definitive moment. I went with Castaneda. There was just no definitive moment for it, and I felt like Castaneda did more damage. It is close though, 29-23 for striking numbers in favor of Gutierrez. I don't hate that. If you give that round to Gutierrez. Third round, Castaneda is out of range and overswinging on a lot as Gutierrez moves backwards, and then he gets countered, and then Castaneda gets him down and holds him there for the rest of the round. Really boring end to the end of this fight. It's fucking sucked. I hate when they do that shit, but it was a smart end for Castaneda. I had a 29-28 for him, but that is not how the judges saw it. So, David Hayeti gave the second two rounds to Castaneda like I did. Travis Busking gave that second round. Travis Busking and Saul D'Amato both gave that second round to Gutierrez. I am not mad at it. I think that's fine. I disagree. If I went back and watched it, maybe I could find a way to agree with that, but that's not how you do this. You don't get to judge afterwards by watching replays and grading the techniques and the amount of damage done by each individual shot in retrospect. You have to watch it live, and then you turn your scorecard in at the end of every round. You don't get to wait until how the fight plays out to give your scorecards. That's not how this shit works. Damon Blackshear versus Alatengheili. Boy, Alatengheili has a chin. Usually if someone says you have a really good chin, that means you get hit a lot. Blackshear jumps across the cage with a flying knee to start the fight. Just runs across and jumps. That was fun to watch. Alatengheili has a great chin, eating a hard right hand and just walking Blackshear down. I could have said that is pretty much the entire fight right there. That sums up the entire fight. Blackshear doing a great job with the range, the low kicks, and the kicks to the body and that right hand. Haley is starting to work his way into range with the hooks to the body and coming up top. Even if they aren't landing, he's at least in range now. So I figured as this fight went on, he would kind of break him down, get inside. But Blackshear made some good adjustments, stringing some hard jabs together, right hands, backing Alatengheili back up. Blackshear looking for that knee a few times up the middle. Just one-way traffic pretty much the entire round. Blackshear landing 37 strikes to Alatengheili's 11, clearly 10-9. Second round, Blackshear being a little bit more stationary, allowing Haley to land some shots in tight, most of them to the body, though. Not taking a ton of damage up top. Yeah, you see, like, it was 11-13, 13 strikes to the body from Haley. Blackshear has slowed his output a lot, and this round, Haley able to get out in front for volume is what I thought, but looking at the volume striking, apparently not. Big shots from both guys to end the round. Haley, I felt like he did enough in this round. I guess I was off. Unless these numbers are wrong, which they can be sometimes, this is not what I saw. I didn't see Blackshear outstriking him by 15 strikes, 40-25. Where did they all go? He landed them all up top. Were they all jabs? I didn't see that. Those four, even if you take away the 4 extra leg kicks that made the difference, that's still not enough. He way outstruck him. So if you give this round to Blackshear, maybe you saw something. Maybe you saw it better than I did. So I had it 19-19 going to the third round. Blackshear is back to the pressure and tempo. Blackshear is trying. He's playing a really dangerous game, right? He's up on volume again, but not as much as the first round, and he's in range to be countered now. Now, he ends up winning this game. I'm not saying he fought a bad fight. I gave him this round as well. He outstruck him 48-25. I thought he won this fight 29-28. Didn't see any controversy. And I'm not calling him a bad fighter. What I'm saying is you're playing a dangerous game when your volume is not as high as it was in the first round. You're not moving as much in the first round, and you're staying in range more than you did in the first round against a guy who's just looking to land a big right hand. Looking at the scorecards, Derek clearly is the only one who gave that second round to Alatengheili, which makes me second guess myself. But Eric Colon and Chris Lee aren't exactly the beacons of light when it comes to correct judging either. So I don't feel bad about the score that I put out there. Malcolm Wellmaker versus Cameron Simon. We don't need to bring up the stats of this one. They're both throwing a lot of low kicks. They clash shins at one point as they both throw, which is kind of cool. Simon putting the hands together with the kicks now, and Wellmaker eating the damage and looking to fire back. So I noticed something in that moment, right? That Wellmaker, after he took a couple big shots, he was just like, okay, fuck this, and just started walking forward, taking the shots, and looking to land something big. And there, like as I'm writing that sentence down, he lands a big right hand and puts Simon right. It puts his fucking lights out. Beautiful. Beautiful punch by Wellmaker. Great fight. All right. I am curious about this Amorim thing. I want to look at some stats here. All right. So, what is going on? Gotta love doing this live. All right. Jaqueline Amorim versus Polyana Viana. And then, just fucking immediately. But like I wrote, holy shit, Amorim gets a takedown right away. 6 seconds into the round, she ran across the cage. I don't even think it was 6 seconds. I think she got her taken down faster than that. Held her down the entire round. Viana with the tight guard and a lot of hammer elbows and hammer fists from her back initially. Viana landed 21 strikes off her back because that's the only place she struck from here. And none of those count as significant strikes because of that, which is fucking weird. But Amorim using excellent positioning and threats to get her way to mount and land shots. Not even close. This was a 10-8 round, in my opinion. 4 minutes and 54 seconds of control time. Submission attempts, even though it didn't say she had any. Whatever. Putting herself in the position for submission attempts. Landing some decent damage on the ground. Complete control, and Viana did fucking nothing. So it's a 10-8 round. Second round, Amorim right to the takedown again. Works her way to the back with the body triangle, and then eventually gets a rear naked choke finish. Fantastic. Did anybody give her a 10-8 round? Absolutely not. Of course they didn't. Why would they do that? 10-8 rounds are for when one guy murders the other one. So stupid. All right. Timmy Cuamba versus Roberto Romero. This is kind of fun. I disagree with the stoppage. We'll talk about it. Romero with the low kicks and the takedown defense, using knees to the body and getting control on the fence in the clinch. Both guys knee to the nuts in the clinch, which was real fun. Both guys getting the low blow. Huge counter lead hook for Cuamba to that low kick, and then because Romero's landing nasty kicks, and Cuamba finally comes over the top with that huge lead hook. Then Romero sticking to the kicks, keeping Cuamba on the warning track, and Cuamba lands a really nice pull counter right hand. This was a back and forth round. It was very fun. Romero just landing more offense, keeping the pressure on pretty much the entire round. Outstrikes him 22-9, but Cuamba wasn't out of this at all. Cuamba able to get the takedown in the second round, even though they get right back up. Seems like it's going to be a volume versus impact battle, right? Like Cuamba's going to land the big strikes, Romero's going to land the volume. And then there it is, a big right hand for Cuamba, rocks him. Then he lands a head kick and a step-in elbow, gets a jumping knee, puts him down. Bad stoppage. They made a big deal, or Laura Sanko made a big deal out of like the right arm not responding how a person would respond. Like when Romero gets dropped, he was hurt, and his right arm drops behind his back, and then he didn't post it out to stand back up right away. Yeah, no shit. He's hurt. He's hurt. Just because someone's hurt doesn't mean you stop the fight. Fuck. That is not how this works. He's hurt, and he's working his way back up. He's trying to figure it out. Let Cuamba go in and finish the fight. The stoppage was way too fast. Way too fast. I'm not saying it was the position was bad or any of those things, or it would have changed the outcome. That doesn't matter. An early stoppage is an early stoppage, and it was. And the commentary team can explain it away and talk about all the shit that they want to talk about and talk about, like, that's not a bad stoppage and they have to do this stuff. You have to give a guy a chance to do that shit. And he didn't eat a shot. The guy was, you could tell that the referee was trigger happy. And he, like, the second another shot came down towards him, didn't even land. He was like, that's it. One of my least favorite things to watch. I have a stronger constitution. Chelsea Chandler versus Joselyne Edwards. Okay, so I wrote down before this fight started, if this is not a blowout for Edwards, she should really go back and look at her career trajectory. She has gotten gifted some of the most bullshit split decisions in her favor. She has had unimpressive wins. She's missed weight. She's had a bunch of, like, she has had a tumultuous UFC career, to say the least. But if she can't beat Chelsea Chandler in a convincing way, then, like, she shouldn't be in the UFC. Luckily that's what happened. So Edwards with some slapping low kicks, some hard kicks to the body. Chandler gets to the clinch but gets pushed over, which was ridiculous. Edwards is just doing pretty much whatever she wants on the feet. Chandler finding some success with the left hand, but eating a lot of shots. And then Edwards drops her, and she gets super excited. Congratulations to her. I'm glad she got a definitive victory. This is something that should have happened. Okay, this was the expected result. Anything less than this would have been an utter disappointment. And, like, this was as much of a get-well fight as you're going to see in the UFC. So, anyway, that is it for the prelims. You're looking for the main card. That's in the last video. I appreciate you all stopping by. I'm going to continue to talk gibberish here, apparently, and slur my words together like I've been drinking or something. Subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of thing. That way the next video is coming out. Also, if you like this video, hit the like button. I appreciate that as well. Have an amazing week. Love y'all. Peace.